I got Radar Apologetics, who's actually he's a Messianic rabbi.
Here he is pushing the circumcision Judaizing Messianic synagogue cult that we already showed you. By the way, this is him lying. If he's saying I don't have any position on the church, if you're sending people to the Messianic synagogue that circumcises people, it's a position. Issues and critiques are, but let me lay out, these are my 7 points of problem. 7 problems with GodLogic. I've been yapping all day. I've been talking since I woke up, so I'm starting, my mind is starting to turn into mush. So first of all, if you guys recall, and Cleve pointed this out on X, GodLogic says that all exclusivist claims are heresy. The only heresy is if you're an exclusivist in your ecclesiology and you say you have the one true church. He says that. He says that that is heresy if you think that you have the one true church. But that itself is an exclusivist claim. In other words, to say that I am excluding everyone who doesn't have my non-exclusivist position is an exclusivist position. Duh. Precept 101. Furthermore, the church of the first 1,000 years consistently says there is only one true visible church. There's not all of these churches. There is no mere Christianity. There's no branch theory. There's no ecumenism in the first 1,000 years. They always thought and said, you have to be a member of the one Holy Catholic Apostolic Church. That's it. So they didn't teach this kind of a theology. As we saw at the beginning, GodLogic sends people to Messianic synagogues where they teach Mosaic Judaizing and circumcision and the dietary laws. Okay, that's not the church. That's a heresy. That's promoting heresy openly. This is the same group, as you saw, where young Don was convinced to become young Dong, get his dong snipped, and then left Christianity. He promotes his dad's fake TBN church, doesn't call it out, doesn't say it's grifting. And I also think he probably doesn't want to say that fake TBN nonsense, deliverance, Pentecostal crap. He doesn't want to say that's false and fraudulent because it would alienate his dad. And he's been trained up in grifting by his hustler dad. As his dad says, I was a hustler. Yo, I grew up hustling. He's still hustling. He's doing the religious hustle. And he's teaching his son to do the same thing, obviously. That's, again, part of the same denomination of churches that was the, give me the $2,000, not $1,200. There is no churchless apologetics, doesn't exist. You can't give me in the first 1,000 years of the church an apologist or theologian or church father who was a churchless apologist, doesn't exist. The church of the first millennium believes explicitly in one holy Catholic Apostolic Church in the Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed. That's the Second Ecumenical Council in 381. GodLogic does not believe multiple doctrines of the Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed. Namely, he doesn't believe in the 4 marks. Well, if you don't believe in the 4 marks of the church, you're not in the church. It's that pretty simple. He's also now in the new Uthman debate, buddying up with an openly pro-Skittles promoting brother, Sig/Jerome, who says that homoerotic relationships are perfectly acceptable if you don't act on it, and that Jesus and Mary are a model of homoerotic relationships. What? Yes, you heard me correctly. You can go in the Discord or go on X. You can find that audio clip. Why are you buddying up to that dude? So these people literally buddy up to pro-gay people, including Gavin Ortland and his gay denomination, but the ortho bros are the bad ones. So notice the actual sins that are 10 times worse than aggressive masculine ortho bros, they don't touch that. They won't call that out. In fact, they'll buddy up probably with those dudes just to get back at the ortho bros. That's how catty and petty and high school bitch teen girl squad that these people are.
You can fill us in a little bit on that. Sure. Because I'm like, why are they they're basically mad at you for doing your apologetics.
Nobody's mad at him for doing apologetics. Trent doesn't even know what happened. No, people got mad because he sent people to a stream on his Clips channel, his team, his people, to dissuade people from becoming Orthodox and becoming catechumens, to confuse them and get them to not become Orthodox. That's why that started. Guess what? Same thing Grifter Ruslan and Business Church did. Ruslan brought on a dude who was a catechumen against two seasoned Protestant Catholic apologists. And he named it debate. It was named debate on Trent Horn's channel. And then he backtracks. Oh, I didn't mean to call it debate. That was the fault of my team. Can't even take responsibility for his own bullcrap. Total fraud. Said he would debate me 5 times over and then said, I ain't going to debate you, dog, until you repent to me. What? These people, and literally like a couple years before this, 3-4 years before this, he's a BLM dude. Can you people not figure out frauds? Is it possible that people convert? Of course people can convert and change their ways. But the thing is, people need time to demonstrate that they really converted. That's why Nala Ray can't be an OF girl and start a church the next day. It's fraudulent. And as a pastor with women pastors, that's why you can't do apologetics if you're not Orthodox. Now, I'm not saying they can't physically do it. Obviously, Trent Horn does it. They all do it. From the Orthodox perspective, you can't do it out of the church. It's got to be under the church. It's pretty simple.
Just help people believe in Jesus. And they're like, that's not enough. I don't know.
Trent, what are you talking about? Your own church teaches just believing in Jesus is not enough. Your church teaches you need the sacraments. GodLogic doesn't necessarily, we don't even know if he believes that. He doesn't say that. If he doesn't teach it, then we have no reason to believe that he does believe it. So you're talking to a dude who thinks that just believing in the Trinity and Jesus is enough. Your own freaking church doesn't teach that, you goober.
Fill us in a little bit on that, because I'm like, why are they they're basically mad at you for doing your apologetics to just help people believe in Jesus. And
yeah, but that doesn't exist. So notice Trent Horn doesn't even realize that his messed up theology of ecumenism doesn't even line up with the traditional Roman Catholic view that it's not enough to just believe in Jesus. You also need the Roman Catholic Church, its sacraments, and all of its attended accretions.
They're like, that's not enough. I don't know. So you want to fill in more like what they got mad at you about?
But that's also your church's teaching, Trent. You teach that it's not enough.
Yeah. So, well, really it started with, so Jay.
Is he going to be honest? Let's see.
Has been coming after me and trying to debate me. Like it was random out of nowhere.
Jay Dyer.
Not true. Not random. Not out of nowhere. Perfectly friendly with this dude for a significant amount of time, 1 to 2 years. Okay. The debate came when his team, and he was in the chat, so he can't say, oh, I didn't know nothing about it. His team, his dude, his Clips channels were trying to convince people not to become Orthodox. Just like Ruslan and his snake attitude of acting like, oh, yo, it's going to be a fair presentation, but we just going to have a catechumen up here against two seasoned apologists. But it's all fair, but I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. That's not, so it's not true.
Yeah, Jay Dyer, out of nowhere. And so.
Not true. It's not out of nowhere. That's a lie. Notice they need the story to be that we just attack people for no reason out of nowhere. Now, he could have at least said, well, he thought that I, sent people to, another channel, my channel, to get people to not become Orthodox, but that's not true. He didn't even say that. He just acted like I was just minding my own business, just doing absolutely nothing. And oh my goodness, what are these men just attacked me out of nowhere for no reason?
And ironically, the timing was interesting because it was right after I just humiliated Muhammad Ajab, and that was like going everywhere and blowing up.
Yeah, I said I support you specifically on the point of Muhammad Ajab, and I support you getting money and not having to be attacked and cheated. I supported him in that. So again, he's telling a half truth. Okay. You understand? I can support you on one thing and criticize you on another thing. You know, that's possible, right? Me supporting you doesn't mean I'm on your team in every single action you do. You can make one right decision here and a wrong decision over here. So he's telling half truths, half the story.
Literally right after that, that's when Jay is like, Hey, GodLogic, debate me on what is the true church.
No, he's leaving out all the other stuff, all the backstory. Remember when Michael Lofton did this exact same thing? These people all do the same stuff. They leave out the full story. They pick out the pieces where it looks like the Ortho Bros is bad. Are they attacking me for no reason? I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I've never had a video or a stream where I had an opinion on what the true church was or gave any type of...
Oh, thank you for admitting the very thing that we've been criticizing. Since you've never had a video or a position on the true church, then you're doing churchless apologetics, bro. That's the thing we're criticizing. Thank you for admitting that we have a point accidentally.
Objection to either side.
Yeah, what you're doing is what we would call...
Yeah, because you can't do it. That's the whole point. So you can keep acting like I'm neutral, bro. There is no neutrality on this position of whether there's a true church or not. And by the way, that's not even true that he's never had a position. He made a video where he said you can't be exclusivist. That's a position. What is he talking about? Let's see if we can find that Cleve clip where he says that to Cleve.
Orthodox.
Here they are with churchless apologetics, which is a position.
To care about these kind of disputes. If Protestants are saying orthodoxy is evil, I condemn the Protestants. If Orthodox are saying that Protestant is evil, I condemn the Orthodox. Same with you Catholics. Listen, if we're going to condemn each other, I'm against that. So I'm not going to support Protestants. They're attacking the Orthodox.
So they condemn any position that's exclusivist. That's an exclusivist version of a position.
Orthodox. I'm not going to attack Orthodox attacking the Protestant. Are you happy now?
No, they're not happy. They want more drama. More drama.
So GodLogic and I guess that his wife, I don't know who that, they agree. Notice they're agreeing right there. Here he is.
You connected with
Here he is pushing the circumcision Judaizing Messianic synagogue cult that we already showed you. By the way, this is him lying. If he's saying I don't have any position on the church, if you're sending people to the Messianic synagogue that circumcises people, it's a position.
So I got Radar Apologetics, who's actually he's a Messianic rabbi. Here he says that you can connect with him.
So notice GodLogic just lied right there. I never had a position. I didn't say anything about churches. You just did, liar. What are you talking about?
Was or gave any type of objection to either side.
Yeah, what you're doing...
I never did anything, never said nothing. I didn't do nothing.